Hey TransLash family, it's me, Imara Jones, with our weekly TalkBack. But before I dive into the most talked about and the least talked about stories from our Facebook timeline, I just wanted to thank each of you who attended in person or who watched or who will watch our Trans Day of Remembrance ceremony at Samsung 837 in New York City with our partners at Samsung. It was truly an honor for me and the entire TransLash team to honor those whom we lost and to talk to trans people all across the country about the challenges that they face right now that are both positive and negative, and also to sit down with the sister of Layleen Polanco, a trans woman who died in custody at Rikers Island in New York City, about the impact of loss on her family. We often don't hear from trans families about the impact of their loss. I think everyone who attended and those who watched said that it was a deeply meaningful event, and I just want to thank you for your ongoing support and for your coming together to be able to honor our lost sisters over the past year. Now, the most talked about story on our Facebook timeline is actually an article that I wrote. Now, it definitely probably is the most shared and talked about article or post from the entire year on our Facebook timeline, over 1,000 times, I think at last count. And it was an article that I wrote for Truth Out, which said that it's not enough to honor those who have passed over the past year, the trans women who we've lost. We have to take action to end these murders. I think we feel deeply that this is an urgent crisis. The American Medical Association, the American Medical Association has labeled it an epidemic. We know that drastic action has to be taken. We know that we need millions of people to join us in taking that action to end these killings. So I think that's one of the reasons why you all talked about it so much. And I really want to thank you for doing that. Whenever you sit down to write something, you don't actually know whether or not people are going to read it. And so thank you for sitting down to actually read it and to share and to talk about it, because we've got to end these murders. And the least talked about post from this past week in our Facebook timeline is actually a post that's actually really good news for trans communities. The New York Women's Foundation, which is the largest foundation for women in the United States and the second largest in the world, and a supporter of TransLash, decided to issue 6 grants to trans-led organizations in New York City, covering a wide array of areas. And it's really important, I think, that we support organizations that support us, philanthropies that are willing to write us checks in order to be able to survive in this moment, I think are key. They deserve our support. So go back, read about the organizations, tell them hey, and congratulate them, and share that, because we need organizations that support us, and particularly the fact that this is a cis woman-led organization says a lot about the importance of us in the movement for all women. So go back and show them some love. So thank you so much for joining us on this week's TalkBack, and we will see you next week, and it'll be Thanksgiving that week. So yeah, that's that. Happy turkey. Bye.